It has never been a better time to become a .NET MAUI developer, building beautiful C-sharp multi-platform applications across iOS, Android, Mac, and Windows, all from a single shared code base. That's right. If you're looking to start your .NET MAUI development journey, you're in the right place. This is my 2025 guide to everything that you need to know to jumpstart .NET MAUI development. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm James, and I'm back with another starter guide for the new year 2025 for .NET MAUI development. I had a 2024 guide that I'll put up over there, and it's still super valid, so you can go ahead and check that out as well. But there have been great updates in the last year for .NET MAUI development, not only from IDEs, from the amazing community, and of course with the launch of .NET 9. So today I want to give you everything that you need to know from what is .NET MAUI and how do you get started, where do you code, how do you code, and of course, all about the community, the ecosystem, and great learning resources. So with that, let's get into it. All right, so the very first thing that you might be wondering is, what is .NET MAUI? Now, I have a lot of beginner series and a lot of definitions of .NET MAUI, but if you want a one-stop shop, here it is, so let's get into it. First and foremost, know what .NET is. It is a beautiful, unified platform for building applications across cloud, web, desktop, mobile, and so much more, and infusing them with AI. You have a single runtime, single class of amazing libraries that you can take advantage of, and world-class programming languages like C#. You can use amazing developer tools like the Visual Studio family and GitHub Copilot, and you can do it on Windows, Linux, or Mac OS for development. And there's a thriving ecosystem across NuGet, GitHub, and amazing components, tools, and amazing library vendors as well. So then, what about mobile and desktop development? Well, that's where .NET MAUI comes in. It gives you the base platform to build iOS, Android, and Mac applications, and pairs with WinUI 3 and the latest Windows App SDK to give you a single unified layer to build multi-platform applications in a single project with a single code base and a single API to build beautiful multi-platform user interfaces and access native APIs as well. So what does this actually mean? Let's talk about the .NET MAUI architecture. At the core level, you have .NET MAUI itself, and there's a bunch of things inside of it that we'll talk about. But there's also the .NET runtime and library. These are the things that you get when you install the .NET SDK, and you can access common APIs like I/O and networking with HTTP client, for example. On top of that sits .NET MAUI, and there's a few things inside of it. The important parts are those bindings and core components. This specifically is iOS, Android, and Mac Catalyst support for .NET. The .NET MAUI team provides the capabilities to run .NET and access the APIs for iOS, Android, and Mac from C#. Now, in addition to that, there's WinUI 3 and the Windows App SDK. Now, the .NET MAUI team doesn't provide those bindings because that comes from the WinUI team. But what the .NET MAUI team does is build these device abstraction layers on top of these 4 different core components, giving you a single API for controls and APIs. And what happens is when they're rendered, you get the native UIs and you have access to the native APIs of each platform, again, for Android, iOS, Mac, and Windows. And the cool part then is that all of this code is shared. And better yet, all of your app code is also shared. So all of your business logic, like models, view models, RESTful service calls, SQL databases, things that are common across each app. Let's talk about the user interface a little bit. .NET MAUI provides access to a bunch of different controls. And how this works is that each platform has a different native control. For example, on iOS, for this little spinner, it's a UI activity indicator, and on Android, it's a stylized progress bar. What the .NET MAUI team did is they distilled it into a single unified API called Activity Indicator. You create an activity indicator in C# or in XAML, which is an XML-based markup language, and when you run your application, you get a native control based on the platform that you're running it on. And the same thing's true for other controls, like UI sliders and seek bars become a slider. And there are tons of different controls built directly into .NET MAUI that you have access to. The cool part here is that you can always create your own custom controls. There's even a 2D drawing layer as well, so you can draw anything that you want. So things like pickers and list views and collection views and checkboxes and switches are all available and render the native controls. Now you can also lay out your different controls in different pages, layouts as well. So things like stack layouts and grids and flex layouts and scroll views are all available, so you decide how you present these controls. Now, out of the box, you're going to get a great user interface that will render the native controls that are stylized. So here's sort of the file new template, and to each version of .NET MAUI, the .NET bot continues to evolve. So you might see a newer .NET 9 bot, for example. But this is a great example. In this case, for XAML, which is an XML-based markup language, you can create this 100% in C# as well. Here you have a vertical stack layout, and it's laying out some labels, a button, and an image. You can see it looks pretty similar across platform, but when you actually look at what is being rendered, it is the native control that is being there. So it's fully accessible across each platform. Now that's the user interface, but what about the APIs? Well, the cool part here is that .NET is available because of those iOS, Android, and Mac base layers that the .NET MAUI team creates. So it means you have access to System.io, Link, XML, core numerics, things like that. But they also give you access to the raw underlying APIs inside of C#. So things like MapKit and UIKit and ARKit, for example, or CoreML to do machine learning are available through these bindings. And basically they're sort of wrappers around the native APIs that you have access to. So you can access them inside of C# with C# features like lambdas, events, and delegates, and async await support as well. And they do the same thing for Android, and they do the same thing for Mac OS as well. Now, the cool part here is that while each of these native APIs are available inside of C#, there's also a set of cross-platform APIs that are available. Because many of the APIs and device capabilities are the same across each platform, the team has abstracted those out into a single API, just like they did for the user interface. So things like geolocation, sending emails, vibration, connectivity, compasses, text-to-speech, and so much more are available from a single API. So for example, if you wanted to have access to geolocation, you can use the geolocation class to get the last known location or request the location asynchronously. That will also prompt for permissions on each platform. The cool part is that .NET MAUI also has full dependency injection support as well. So you can register the iGeolocation API as a singleton and pass it in and inject it through your view model or through your page. So you have full access. So if you're coming from the world of ASP.NET Core, all of that dependency injection and constructor injection is all available for you as well, which is great. Now, after you've built your UI and built your application business logic and access native APIs, you compile it down into native applications that run natively across iOS, Android, Mac, and of course, Windows that can be distributed in your enterprise to individuals to test or off to each individual marketplace that you want to ship your application. Whether it's just an iOS app, an Android app, or a Mac, Windows, and iOS and Android app, you can ship one, you can ship all of them, it's up to you. iOS and Android and Mac all support full ahead of time compilation to take all of your C# code, compile it down into IL and through an LLVM compiler and optimizer for iOS, for example, that produces a native ARM binary. Android can just-in-time compile and has full native ahead of time compilation as well to get an optimized Android binary and Android app bundle that you can ship. And the same thing is true for Mac and Windows as well. And of course, .NET MAUI is a full app platform. Only some of the things that I've covered here, but there's full animation system, visual state manager, navigation, data binding system, CI/CD support, platform API integrations. And one of my favorite parts is that .NET MAUI handles full cross-platform images, icons, fonts, and splash screens and assets for you. And it automatically puts them and resizes them and puts them in the right place. Out of the box, you're going to get full default light theme and dark theme support, and you can do custom theme support as well. And that's how .NET MAUI enables you to create native applications directly out of the box. And there are companies all across the globe building with .NET MAUI today. You can read some of their case studies on the .NET website and learn more specifically at .NET Conf as well, where David and Rachel did amazing sessions diving deep into .NET MAUI, and I'll put links to those in the show notes below. But you may be wondering, what about hybrid development? What about web development and bringing web to mobile and desktop? You can sort of think as .NET MAUI as a platform as well as this native capabilities, because .NET MAUI has multiple hybrid development options built into it. And in fact, when you think about .NET itself, it offers a lot of choice, going full depth with .NET MAUI and native, full rendering 100%, or Blazor for the web, for example, to render out C# and HTML and CSS directly in the browser. But right in the middle is a mashup in between with Blazor Hybrid support to create beautiful hybrid applications with both .NET MAUI as the core underlying platform and Blazor and Web UI being rendered inside of your mobile and desktop application. Now, you can mix and match. You can have a little bit of Web UI and a little bit of native UI, or you can have 100% Web UI with Blazor support built in. So this means with Blazor Hybrid inside of .NET MAUI, it enables you to basically leverage everything that I just told you about with .NET MAUI, including those native controls and APIs, but blend in your Blazor and Razor components directly. This means you have access to this native app container. You can fully embed native Web UI through the web view. There's no internet access required at all. It's embedded and packaged into your app. You have support for full built-in Blazor controls and from the community as well. You can use all of the MAUI abstractions that I talked about. You can distribute directly to your app store. And of course, you can reuse your web UI across .NET MAUI applications and your Blazor web applications as well. So all this is awesome because it enables you to create these unified applications across mobile, desktop, and web, all leveraging Blazor Hybrid and .NET MAUI together. Now, I talked a little bit about reusing UI across native and web, and that's one of the core features. For example, here, you ideally would have your web Blazor application and your native .NET MAUI application as well that's leveraging that Blazor Hybrid support. And in the middle is going to sit a Razor class library that is going to enable you to take shared Razor components across web and native, which is really cool. And in fact, in .NET 9, there are brand new templates enabling you to do this. There's a new .NET MAUI Blazor Hybrid and web application. This enables you to do file new project, get your .NET MAUI hybrid application with Blazor Hybrid, a web user interface, and a shared layer in between, sharing all of your Razor components, your pages, your components, your layouts, and it also shows you how to access native APIs across mobile, desktop, and web through interfaces and dependency injection. Now, Blazor is just one of the options that's available with .NET MAUI and Blazor Hybrid support. But if you're not using Blazor, there's more support built in to .NET MAUI as well now. Like I said, there is Blazor, but there is also the ability to create hybrid applications with any JavaScript frontend. This means you can reuse Angular, React, Vue, or more inside of .NET MAUI applications with the brand new control called the Hybrid Web View. And I have an actual full video here on my channel going through both of these options for you. Just like the Blazor Hybrid Web View enables you to bring in Blazor user interface with Razor components, the Hybrid Web View enables you to embed that HTML, JavaScript, and CSS and communicate back and forth between JavaScript and C#. And of course, you can mix and match a little bit or a lot. So you can really have full hybrid architecture. So this enables you to do all sorts of things, such as bring in that Blazor Web View, that Hybrid Web View, as much or as little as you want to develop these applications across iOS, Android, Mac, and Windows, and share all of that with the web. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about what's new in .NET 9 for .NET MAUI developers. Now, there is tons built in that I'm not going to actually cover. I'd highly recommend you go check out the session from .NET Conf talking about it. But I do want to highlight a few things. Obviously, with every single release of .NET, you get sweeping performance improvements across the board just by upgrading your version of .NET. And .NET MAUI builds on top of those amazing performance improvements and have additional optimizations for .NET MAUI development across iOS, Android, Mac, and Windows. The team has done deep integrations with native AOT to make your application smaller and faster startup time. Additionally, they've of course added the latest support for the latest versions of Android and iOS, and they've added new controls such as the new title bar control, which is one of my favorite new controls that's built in, that it really enables you to have a great title bar experience on desktop and leverage it on mobile too. And they've also done some things that developers have been asking for, like Android asset packs. They've added some new input keyboard controls, some new lifecycle events, and they've really optimized the collection view and carousel view across the board. Now, on top of that, they've done some unique things when it comes to the native platform integration, specifically Xcode Sync with the CLI and native library interop. First is the Xcode Sync CLI. Sometimes you have to get into Xcode to edit different assets and storyboards for iOS and Mac specific development. And they've created a command line interface and integrated it into Visual Studio Code to easily synchronize between both Xcode and your .NET MAUI projects. And that's really neat to actually see those worlds come together. Now, sometimes, just like you need to access iOS and Mac assets and storyboards, sometimes you need to bring in native libraries into your .NET MAUI application that aren't written in C# or .NET. And that is where native library interop comes in, enabling you to go off and create an interop layer between .NET and Objective-C, Swift, Kotlin, and Java libraries and projects. You get access to the native projects and define a custom native API that you then bind to a .NET API that creates a library that can be brought directly into your .NET MAUI application. This means if there's a custom control or custom library that does some really cool functionality, you can easily bring it into your .NET MAUI application. And this is all supported in the .NET MAUI Community Toolkit, which I'll talk a little bit about more when I get to community and ecosystem. All right, so now we know what .NET MAUI is, how you develop applications, and the question is, where do you develop your applications? And specifically, on what platforms can you develop applications on? So let's talk about IDE, or integrated development environments, and code editors that you can use for .NET MAUI development. First and foremost, inside of Visual Studio Code is the .NET MAUI extension that leverages the C# Dev Kit. This is fully available across Windows, Mac, and Linux as well to develop .NET MAUI applications. So you install .NET, you install the .NET MAUI workload, and then you install VS Code and the VS Code extension for .NET MAUI. This will give you IntelliSense, tooltips, insertions, color swatches, hot reload, and that Xcode sync support if you're on Mac. Now, I mentioned VS Code is available on Windows, Mac, and Linux, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you can develop for every single platform that .NET MAUI supports based on the operating system that you're running. So if you're on Windows, you'll specifically build Windows and Android applications. And that is because Android SDKs and emulators are available on Windows alongside Windows SDK and of course running Windows applications on your machine. If you're over on a Mac machine, you can then use Visual Studio Code to develop for iOS, Android, and Mac applications. And that is because Xcode is available on side of your Mac, enabling you to develop iOS and Mac applications and the Android SDKs as well. Now, if you're on Linux, you'll be able to build for Android there because the Android SDKs are available. So based on your setup and your experience, that is the platforms and the operating systems that you can build for with Visual Studio Code and the .NET MAUI extension. And There's also a great thriving ecosystem of additional Visual Studio Code extensions for .NET MAUI developers that you'll definitely want to check out. I'll put a link to one of the videos that I recently did. Now, I myself am tried and true, and I love Windows for my main development environment, and I also love Visual Studio. And Visual Studio 2022 has full support for .NET MAUI development. Now, this is on Windows, and Visual Studio itself is on Windows. And of course, there's free community editions available for Visual Studio and the C# Dev Kit, so you have access to build all of this. Now, since you're on Windows, you obviously can build Windows applications. You can also build Android applications. But in addition to that, if you have an iOS device and an iOS developer profile with Apple, you can also use your iOS device plugged into your Windows machine to debug and deploy development packages of your iOS applications. So that means with Visual Studio on Windows, you can develop Windows, Android, and iOS applications. Now, of course, for Mac, you got to go over to Mac to run and debug those applications. Now, the awesome part about Visual Studio is that it gives you everything all in one. So not only will it install all of .NET, it'll give you templates, gives you access to obviously GitHub Copilot, but it also installs all of the additional Android SDKs, emulators, Windows SDKs, everything that you need to do all in one beautiful package for you automatically. Now, the latest version of when I'm recording this video is Visual Studio version 17.12, which added new sample templates, which are awesome and use all of the brand new Syncfusion controls that are completely free, has great improvements for GitHub Copilot, and awesome new hot reload improvements. Now, there's also upcoming versions as the team is always iterating. In 17.13 is this awesome ability to actually use this live preview mode without even debugging your application. You just have your application running on your machine, and you can hot reload and see live updates without even running your application. So that is really awesome to see. And the great part is that you'll consistently get new features for .NET MAUI as you upgrade not only Visual Studio Code, but also Visual Studio 2022. I also have videos here, if you are on a Mac, of how to actually run Windows and Visual Studio 2022 using different emulation and virtualization software like VMware Fusion Pro. So I'll put links to that in the show notes as well. Now, beyond code editors and IDEs from Microsoft, there's also additional, of course, full support for .NET CLI and also JetBrains Rider. And JetBrains Rider is also an IDE that is available across Mac, Windows, and Linux to do development. So whether you're using Visual Studio, VS Code, or doing just .NET CLI or JetBrains Rider, there are IDEs and code editors available for you. All right, let's get into the thriving community and ecosystem around .NET MAUI. Okay, let's first start with a repo that I talked about before, which is Awesome.NET MAUI by Javier Ruiz. Now, Javier is an engineer on the .NET MAUI team, and this list has been ongoing for several years. He's reorganized it recently and breaks it down into books, samples, workshop tools, talk about Blazor Hybrid, UI, and plugins too. So this is great, so you can easily get access to different books that you might want to pick up off the bookshelf or on Amazon. Also different samples that are available, so full applications, you can just one-click go. And then I love also the full workshops too that you can dive into. He talks about the different tools, not only just what's available inside of Visual Studio and VS Code, but other great extensions like the Meteor extension, App Accelerator, and MAUI Designer too. I love here talking about all the great Blazor controls and of course UI components. And there are so many UI components that you can go into. And he highlights a bunch of amazing ones here. So whether you're looking for charts, graphs, carousels, or so much more, there are great things built into here. And I use tons of these as well. And there's just so many that are thriving in the .NET MAUI ecosystem. So check those out. Another section that he highlights are these plugins. So this is access to native capabilities similar to the cross-platform APIs built into .NET MAUI. And he goes through different ones like barcode scanning and camera controls and different pop-ups and in-app billing. That's one by me, which is kind of cool. Different binding projects and a whole lot more that you can get access to. So this is just an amazing resource to go through. I absolutely love it. And there's something in here for absolutely everyone. You just keep scrolling. Another great repo is by Gerald. Love Gerald. He is pumping out amazing videos here on YouTube, also an engineer on the .NET MAUI team. I love this repo, built with .NET MAUI. This actually shows you a bunch of different applications that are publicly available, built with .NET MAUI, and it's open source, so you can add your application to it as well and where you have it deployed. So it's really great to see this ever-growing list. So definitely check that out. Another one is from Javier as well, which is the .NET MAUI Showcase. And this is another curated list of sample applications. Some of them are in that other list, but it's cool because I love seeing the different photos that are in here and different screenshots that you can take a look at of different applications that are reference applications. So just kind of samples that you can just go and download and get access to right away. So if you want to get like sort of a reference app off the ground running, definitely check that out. It's really cool to see. Now, beyond that, I also mentioned the .NET MAUI Community Toolkit, and this thing is absolutely fantastic. This thing is fully open source, built with support from team members here at Microsoft and the .NET community. There's all sorts of cool stuff, such as alerts, such as toast and snack bars, animation libraries, behaviors that are built in, converters. There is so many built in essentials like app theme resources, badges, and file savers, and speech to text, different extensions for color animations, image source overrides like Gravatar images, do layouts like dock layout and state containers, and platform specific items as well, like navigation bars, and then views. There's an avatar view, drawing view. This is amazing. I showed you how to create a signature control. And what's great is that you can see how to do it in SAML or in C# for every single one, and how easy it is. Media elements, pop-ups, and one of the favorite libraries here is the C# markup. This enables you to more easily write user interfaces in C#. So definitely check that out. There's so many good things in here to love. It also includes that native library interop too. This gives you that full overview that I talked about of how to create those binding projects. All right. Beyond that, there is the C# markup that I talked about, and also want to point out, just like there's a .NET MAUI Community Toolkit, there is the .NET Community Toolkit. I've referenced this in almost all of my videos because I absolutely love the MVVM toolkit that's built in that highly simplifies your entire MVVM project with observable objects, validators, IOC controls, relay commands, async controls, source generators, and so much more. It is absolutely fantastic. And the messaging system is fantastic. Easily enable you to do messages to subscribe to back and forth. And I also talked about that in videos here too. Now, beyond that, I also want to highlight SyncFusion's open source .NET MAUI controls. This was introduced with .NET 9, and it's actually part of File New Project as a sample app. There are tons of open source controls that you can add in, and the team here highlighted all of these free open source controls that you can easily add in with the SyncFusion toolkit, such as carousels, tab views, chips, effects like these little shimmers, which are really fantastic, pull to refresh, text input layouts, which are absolutely fantastic, customized navigation drawer, and so much more. And they've been adding more and more as well. Like I said, it's completely open source. You can see it here right on GitHub, and you can check out all of the active development going on. It's really, really awesome to see how easy it is to add controls into your app. Beyond that, some other cool custom controls. Javier has this template MAUI, which are templated controls that easily enable you to extend templates to really customize it. He's been really building this out. So definitely take a look at this for some really awesome custom controls that you can really customize in your applications. Now, beyond that, I just want to give a call out for Gerald, because Gerald is awesome. There are so many awesome different projects that he has, not only that build with MAUI, but his audio plugin, calendar sort, screen recorder, pedometer, UI testing templates, and so much more built into this, which is just really fantastic to see. So definitely just follow Gerald everywhere, basically. Now, beyond that, there are a bunch of paid controls and also some free controls too out there that you can get from control vendors beyond the amazing .NET community. SyncFusion has their free version, but they also have paid version of their .NET MAUI controls, and of course, Blazor controls and Angular and Vue and all these different things as well. So if you scroll down, you'll see that there's actually amazing controls from data grids, charts, schedulers, Excel libraries, and so much more built in. So while yes, a bunch of things are out there in the free toolkit, If you get their entire control kit, you get everything, including an AI assistant view, which is super rad to see, easily enabling you to get card views and text and interview and a chat interface. Our good friends over at Telerik Progress, of course, have amazing MAUI controls for desktop and mobile, and you can browse all of them as well. Again, data grids, date pickers, tab views, and so much more. There are just so many amazing views in here too that you can get access to. They have a whole PDF processor, zip library, grid splitter, toggle controls. There's something for everyone. Don't forget, Grail over here with the Grail kit is world-class for .NET MAUI, and of course, Xamarin Forms with the World Toolkits. They have Grail Studio and so much more. I absolutely love these controls. You can easily drop in full pages into your application, and they're highly customizable. It is absolutely brilliant. Over at Messius, I think that's how you say it, or aka Grave City, they have full data grids and full trials and amazing things you can get access to if you really need to customize your data grids as well. So have full control access there, which is super great to see. Over at Stima, they also have a full .NET MAUI chart control. So if you need highly customizable chart controls, you can get access to them. Over at DevExpress, you have free multi-platform controls that obviously work not only for .NET MAUI, but also some Blazor Hybrid controls too. So you can get access to all of those, which is really awesome. Finally, I want to point out Exceed as well. Their toolkit for .NET MAUI is open source, so you can get access to, and they're consistently updating them with new controls all the time. So definitely check those out. Let's get into some learning resources. Gerald has some amazing repos out there, and one of his is the Learn.NET MAUI repo. It's filled full of learning resources from blogs, books, code, services, social media, videos, and more. So no matter how you're looking to learn, you can click, find what's out there on social media, follow GitHub, Twitter accounts, Discords, and more. You can dive into example to code, and you can browse through all the different components and UI libraries as well. So while Javier also has some of this, it's great to have multiple resources out there available. And I love, of course, the deep dive into videos and different YouTubers and Twitch accounts to follow. Now, of course, there's the .NET Video Beginner Series to learn just about anything with .NET. So if you're just getting started with C# or .NET or Visual Studio, you are good to go there. If you scroll down a little bit in the page, you're going to see .NET MAUI for beginners and Blazor Hybrid for beginners from me with my long hair. This is really great no matter how you want to start your journey, and they're full courses on getting up and running. So definitely check those out on the .NET YouTube. I also want to point out the .NET MAUI workshop. This is something that continues to evolve over time, and you can go and take this entire full day workshop that's consistently updated and updated for .NET 9 to learn about displaying data, MVVM, navigation, accessing platform, customizing collections, and app themes. You can see this in English and in Chinese, and you can dive through the entire workshop. And if you want, you can, of course, check out my video, which is a full 4-hour beginner course here. It has over 800,000 views. And there are some changes, just a few tweaks here that I've pinned, but all in all, it is pretty much the same going through that entire open source repo too, which is fantastic to see. Now, if you're starting Blazor Hybrid development, additionally, Gerald and Sweeky, and I think Maddie also put together this Blazor Hybrid workshop, which is sort of symmetry and sort of a nice complement to the .NET MAUI workshop. And it has the same parts: displaying data, adding some dialogues, navigation, theming, and more. And this is really, really fantastic if you want to do Blazor Hybrid. And you guessed it, yes, Gerald over here has us covered on all things in this workshop. So if you want to get a hands-on doing cross-platform applications with Blazor Hybrid, check the full workshop out there too. Now, finally, if you want more guided learning, Microsoft Learn is there for you with the Microsoft Learn training, which is completely for free. You can go in to select .NET MAUI, and there's all these modules, but I like to actually just click on Learning Path. And that's where you're going to see this learning path for building mobile and desktop apps with .NET MAUI. This is going to bring you through creating your first multi-platform app, all the way up to creating UI, customizing layouts, doing data binding, MVVM, multi-page XAML consistency, REST services, and databases. You can take these all completely for free, earn your badges, and they've all been recently updated to .NET All right, well, there you have it. That is my full getting started beginner's guide for .NET MAUI development in 2025. I love the .NET community. I love hearing from all of you. So if you enjoyed this and you're interested in getting started, let me know how it's going in your journey in the comments below. And let me know if you have any other questions and I'll try to answer them. Also, let me know what other videos you want to see here too. And I'll try to dive through those on the channel as the year progresses. Now, if you have any questions, leave them below. And of course, if you like this video, give it a like, give it a subscribe to the channel so you get updated every single time I put out a new video. I hope you really enjoyed this, and I hope that you're starting your journey in new year off with some awesome multi-platform development in C# for iOS, Android, and Windows. If you've already started to build some stuff, let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and make sure you go send those pull requests to those awesome repos and get your amazing projects and your amazing apps highlighted. All right, that's going to do it for this guide for 2025. Hope you have an amazing year, and I can't wait to see what you build this year and beyond. I'm James. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.